trying to do work for fucking Baggsy, and this is what happens.
Actually doing some work.
That is one part of the project that kind of scares me a little bit.
Does it look like we know what we're doing?
And it was soul destroying.
My name's Baggsy. I'm a pro drifter and the guy behind SB Motorsport. Over the years, we've built some amazing creations like the V8 GT-R and our PS13 comp car. We bring the smoke and smiles to events all around the world, with a few viral sensations along the way. But now it's time for a world's first. We're putting GT-R life and soul into a Navara truck. But I'm not doing this alone. I've got a great team to help me. And some of the best partners in the industry. So buckle up, it's going to be a hell of a ride. And even I don't know how it's going to turn out.
I just drive the car.
Welcome to Project Navara-R.
As we rejoin the Navara build, there's a very specific hole in the SB Motorsport workforce.
Corbin.
Being away for such a long period of time, it was a major problem in the workshop.
Do you reckon it had an effect on the team with you being away?
But yeah, because they're useless.
Corbin unfortunately had to take some time out from the workshop.
Because obviously he's such a force in the workshop.
I was fixing stuff over the phone.
On his own, the only manpower we need.
What do you reckon this is, mate? Can you see it on FaceTime? The signal's not great.
But alas, being a man down was not all the team had to contend with.
Containers stuck everywhere around the world.
As well as Brexit.
Industry is now short of raw material.
As well as COVID.
Traffic jam of boats.
The Suez Canal parking incident.
And key partners were struggling because they had men down too.
The guy there had an accident. I think he broke his ankle, so he also had time out.
All of which adds up to progress. Basically,
it stopped.
But alas, for a lonely and stagnant Ian, help was at hand. In the shape of Sam.
Sam's only a boy, isn't he? He's only young, he's just, a whippet.
Well, Sam may be new to the team, but he still remembers the launch of the Navara project like it was yesterday.
It was fucking years ago, mate. I think I was still in school.
You have to whip him to get him to work as well.
Yeah, I had to supervise Ian a lot, which was interesting.
How did you find that role?
Stressful.
Made a toolbox. Do you like our toolbox?
Sam makes a great start supervising the workshop, the toolboxes and the camera crew.
I mean, that camera's not even pointing at me.
It is.
Is it? Doesn't look like it is.
But you can't deny this fresh blood has had a remarkable effect on Ian's productivity.
I'm full of beans, aren't I, today? Had the day off yesterday. Fucking raring to go on the truck project, aren't I, Ben? That's a fucking lie as well. Last week I spent 10 days measuring shit with a tape measure. It was a long week.
Well, all this measuring and remeasuring is leading up to that incredibly daunting rear end.
Fucking scared. Because I'm going to need these to look identical. Just for aesthetics, isn't it? They've got to look the same. It's there to there. It's 375. So if I go 380, right, if that measurement from there to there is 45mm, this one's going to be a right to do. So that is that cut, which gives me that, which then when that's pulled round down, that gives me that. So that's that. So that's right. Fuck, how am I going to work this out? Because it curves where that's radiused as well. Fuck.
Yeah, I think the Nissan Navara chassis was probably the biggest challenge so far. It was the biggest thing that we've ever had to really sort of tackle in the workshop.
Can't really use that as a gauge either, because once it pulls it goes lower. I suppose I should do that. I mean, I'm going balls to the wall with this one. You ain't got a clue, have you? So that's 310, that's 315, because then it was like that. So that's what, fucking hell, this is fucking well hard.
Just as the pressure of the rear turrets is getting to Ian, a new day dawns, bringing with it new hope and the return of a special someone.
Corbin's back. What are you going on your phone for? Get out of my toolbox! That ain't a recipe for disaster.
Where did you nick that from? Did you want arm wrestle?
No.
Well, spurred on by Corbin's return, Ian's finally getting stuck into that second rear turret.
I think that cardboard template is slightly different to what the steel version is. And then that's weighing on.
Meanwhile, over in Watford, ASNU injectors have been incredibly productive, and they have produced this amazing inlet manifold, an injection system capable of supporting up to 2,000 horsepower. The ASNU guys really know how to get things done. Meanwhile, Baggsy decided that if the Navara-R was going to get its next big push, the team would have to do it live on air.
Trying to film here for a serious documentary.
This side's done, I take it, is it?
Yeah, so that side's bolted up now. We've got the brand new ST coilover mounted to the GT-R rear hub. There was a lot of work involved in making the rear struts. But yeah, we got there in the end.
You know what? I suppose what we've tried to always do with this project is try and make everything look as factory as possible. And you know, right now this looks pretty good. I think it looks like it was almost there from the beginning to a certain extent.
Corbin's just buttoning up the last few fixings on the front suspension on the left-hand side. I'm gonna jump on, get the other side on, then we're ready for wheels. So it'll be the first time that the truck will be on all four wheels on its own suspension. For us to finally get to this point where we'd put it all together, we had all the running gear on it, we loaded it down on the floor for the first time and it moved.
This is genuinely the first time we've put the suspension on and the wheels, and we're going to drop it down on, drop it down on the floor under its own steam.
Probably about 8 months worth of work and 8 months worth of fabrication to get to that stage. So it was a really proud moment, really.
It was a nervous move, watching like 8 members of the live stream come and jump on board the Navara.
Everyone jump on.
Oh yeah! Everyone got on it and jumped up and down and nothing snapped off or fell off, and it was strong.
It was kind of amusing really when we obviously got it onto its wheels and started bouncing up and down it, but it was also a kind of a proud moment to know that we'd got to a stage that, you know, it was almost like that part of the project was done.
Well, as one part's done, another part starts, so the team set about housing the gearbox.
Yeah, that's the one.
And the workshop is finally back to a hive of activity, so let's get a quick summary.
What have we done this week to the Navara-R? Well, we finished off the rear subframe mounts. Got those in, fabricated, done. Finished off the rear turret mount tops. Put this little lip on. Nice little bit of weld, just shaped the front so that it's got a little bit more strength. Open the hole out as well to clear all the bolts.
And it doesn't end there.
Today, I'm going to make the frame up that holds the radium in the back of the truck. Looks good for where I'm standing. This one is actually fully built and designed. Even the plastic tank inside the alley box is all radium. You know, petrol goes in here, fumes come out of here, brum brum juice out of this one. Let's make some sparks. You trying to work out what I'm making then?
No. Oh, lovely. Like a glove.
Looks like GT-R again, Janelle.
And now it's time to put the Navara-R all back together again to send her out on the road to some wonderful partners so they can work their magic on her.
Not too much though, don't go get carried away. A bit more. That'll do you there. Whoa, 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 whoa!
I live my life like a dream. She flying designer jeans, but more likely lie by the ocean. I live. Life is but a dream, and if you know what I mean, I never knew what butter did to green beans, and all I used to eat was shit through steam.
Oh shit, the bed. What the fuck was that?
Like supreme.
And this is it. After months cooped up in the workshop, it's time for the Navara-R to emerge blinking into the sunlight and make her first trip to her first major surgery happening at Walton Motorsport.
So I'm super excited today. We're heading to my good friend Mike Walton's workshop. It's called Walton Motorsport. He's going to be taking care of making the manifolds for us, making the exhaust system. We're going to be using Vibrant performance parts. As soon as we announced the Nissan Navara-R, it just made sense for Mike and his team to get it done for us. So after maybe 8-9 months of planning today, we're finally here dropping the Nissan Navara off.
Yeah, keep going down there, just keep going straight.
This vehicle is reversing. Warning. This vehicle is reversing. Warning. This vehicle.
That'll probably do. That was challenging.
Steve Biagioni, in a very rare circumstance, is actually doing some work.
Right, to watch that side. Are you alright on that side?
Yeah. Oh, I'm joking, I'm wondering.
I'm losing traction. In my head, that hero photo, that fucking photo that everybody remembers, is when it bangs all four flames.
So put the turbos there, run the downpipes over the top, and then down.
But this is why we are here, to seek the advice and professional,
I can do some
high
heart-shaped tips.
end for
Little love
workmanship
hearts.
of
Like that.
Walton
Should we do a little love
Motorsport.
heart there and there?
I mean, why not? Yeah. You can do little love hearts if you want.
It's fine by you, it's fine by me.
Perfect. Then we have a fine in the middle.
So with the artistic direction agreed, it's all systems go.
There's no welds there, or there. There's nothing holding it together.
Until Mike spots an issue.
It's gonna fall apart. Do a video.
Time to feed back to Ian and Corbin.
I thought you'd got this a little bit further along than that. I thought this was more than just tacked together, wasn't it? You know, don't fancy welding that bit, or that bit, or that bit, or that bit, or maybe that bit. What about that bit? That bit sort of had a bit of a weld on it. I thought you were a bit further through the project than this, Steve.
Ian said to do your job and not worry about his job.
Oh, well, the only problem with that is I'm slightly concerned about being under here and it staying together.
Super fun, super friendly guy.
Yeah, I mean, their work is second to none. It's the only place to really visit if you're going to get an exhaust manifold or an exhaust system made. They built us custom headers for the truck that allowed us to move the turbos up and in view, those lovely Garrett G-Series turbos. They also made us an incredible exhaust system that comes down either side of the truck. It's going to exit out of each side of the rear tub, and also the external wastegate dump pipes are going to come out through the front bumper.
And they did all the design, all the manufacturing, all the fabrication in-house. And then shortly after we went back and it was all ready to go.
So we've just arrived back at Walton Motorsport. I'm super excited to see what the guys have done over the last 2 weeks.
Damn, son. Damn. Insert.
Damn! Did you manage to get some bracing on the downpipes like you were talking about?
Oh yes.
Cool. Nice.
You can swing off them.
Can you?
Yes.
Nice.
I'll show you this bit now. Shall we go?
Yeah, we go. It's good to see that you actually finished welding as well.
That's not going anywhere. You're going to be just fine.
See, the daily exercise has been swinging off the back of the
yeah, that's
Navara's exhaust systems.
So yeah, even though these are very solid to the chassis, obviously you've got these very large flexes in here that allows the front end to move independently from the back end, and all downpipes are braced nicely, so we should have absolutely no problems.
Okay, cool.
Whatsoever. Wow.
With Walton done, there is no time to rest. It's straight back out on the road again to Forge.
They wanted to jam me in, lock me up.
So we are on our way to Forge Motorsport today in Gloucester. Forge has been one of my amazing partners for over 8 years now, and all the work they've ever done for us on the fabrication side has just been crazy. So I'm really looking forward to giving them the Nissan Navara-R today, see what ideas they've got for the truck. They're going to be doing the intercooler, the radiator, oil coolers, fuel coolers, and yeah, it's going to be cool to have them collaborate with us on the truck. Excited to be back going down to Forge.
They took many shortcuts by backstabbing me. If I don't get out they grip, then these vultures won't dip. I ain't afraid to die and fly off to the sky, but I got more life to live, so today I'm gonna try to strive.
Warning, this vehicle is reversing.
Did you get that bit of reversing?
That was on point.
Just so everyone's aware that bit of reversing was on point. I just want to make sure everyone's filming because that bit of reversing was on point, just so everyone's aware.
Even?
Nice disposable mask, really.
Probably in a patio, I think.
I felt over-processed like a bad lace front job. I'm God's chosen but struggling. That's kinda odd. When you stand close to the light, you bound to get burned. There's some things on this journey I had to learn.
I can't turn the steering wheel now.
On my own, but then God was in plain sight. I was never alone. Against me, on this right path, many weapons was formed. They tried to...
Come on, let's have it. No, you open it. Let's go. Yeah, sweet. It's looking nice.
At least there's a little bit of room in there for you to play with.
Yes, more than actually what I thought, which is a good thing. Because I was a little bit worried, if I'm honest. So, am I free to like cut if I need to cut?
Yeah, you got what you want.
That's the thing.
To a certain degree.
Okay, I can clock or use to what orientation I need as long as they're symmetrical.
I would really like them to be kind of like that, if possible.
Okay.
If you can. I mean, we can turn them a little bit if you need to.
Yeah.
But in an ideal world, I'd like them to stand as much as possible.
So the Garrett is reading flat.
It's not a game changer. Like it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
But if possible.
Okay.
Yeah, working with Forge Motorsport's really easy. I've worked with the guys there for coming up probably nearly 10 years, I'd imagine.
So if you imagine it's one core, but we're basing it on 2 coolers, twin turbo. And tank A and tank B. It's a smaller transition, so this is going to be coming from hot-sided turbo. so. And then we're going to go something like that. So we've gone square to round to make the transition nice and smooth. As you can see, because it's 3mm, it's to form this. So all I'm going to do is just press it in. Bit of heavy duty lump hammer. There we go, look, round it out. And that'll be perfect for welding. Grind a little bit off here. Gonna have to stick that back together, look, make it nice and firm, hard, stiff, yeah, rigid. See that? Yeah. And then what we also have to do is weld some brackets on to mount the intercooler. Because when Baggsy goes 4x4 in, he's going might fall out. So we're gonna make sure it doesn't.
Forge designed us a custom intercooler and boost hoses to go with the water manifolds and the top mount turbos that they created. They made us a custom intercooler, which is incredible. Some nice oil coolers for the front of it, and then they did the rad.
So the idea, what we're going to do, is bang them on there, look, just like that. Okay, that's going to help hold the cooler in position. Baggsy, this is Baggsy's Intercooler. Baggsy is a real cool geezer.
They went way further. You know, they went way above and beyond what I wanted them to actually do, but it was amazing because the workmanship, the craftsmanship, all the stuff that they hand build here in the UK is insane. It's such great quality, it's unbelievable. And what they've done to the Nissan Navara is just the same level.
There you go. Nice and tight. Come around, come around, have a look, Dan. Okay, so under here, yeah. So we're not touching on bumper mount at all here, crash bar mount. It's very, very close, very tight under there. Okay, and then we've got these OEM radiator mounts here. Clearance is extremely tight. But what I do is I get it all mounted up into position, and then I can do any marking that I need to, and I can just fettle back a bit to give sort of about 2mm clearance. I'm trying to do work for fucking Baggsy, and this is what happens. Look at the state of me. Come over the top of this boost pipe, which is going into the inlet manifold. I need to drop down, okay, and then come back as wide as possible because we need to leave room for our radiator. This part of the transition here, what I'll probably do is roll up a piece of aluminium into a conical shape. happy with that. It sits in there just nice.
Do you know what this weather's good for?
What's that?
The ducks.
What's that? Hang on, just put this picture on the Instagram.
No, the door won't shut. What have you done? Open the door.
Hey, look. You just need a pro to do it. That's all it is. A pro. Done.
Forge done. Next up, the engine.
So when we got the GT-R, the VR38 hadn't been touched, hadn't been taken apart, been well maintained by our previous owners. But we obviously wanted more power than stock. So the right way to go was to rebuild the motor, and the only person really for us was Paul Cheshire.
And we'd seen some of the quality that was coming out of his workshop when it came to, especially when it came to the Nissan R35 VR38 engine. Paul, nice one for coming down, appreciate it. It's been a long time waiting to get to today. I know we're a little bit behind schedule, probably what we arranged originally, but today's the day. We're going to pull the engine, give it to you, let you work your magic. And yeah, we're looking forward to letting you get busy on the VR38.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I'll go and get the bits that we've got for the engine and check it's all right, make sure that I actually ordered all the right parts.
Let's do it.
Let you have a look.
Big dog status, I'm a big dog vet. I pull up on the block in a big Corvette. Yeah. Ride around the city with a stick all black. Try with a stroke of weed with.
Does it look like we know what we're doing?
I doubt it.
So these are custom made, aren't they?
Yeah, so we organised these through Brian Crowder as well, and they've yeah, should be custom made for the GT-R.
Beautiful. Yeah, so they're aluminium because of the Needham was aluminium because of the weight. Right. Formula One now they're actually using steel pistons because of the strength. There's no engine parts; it's just closed.
That would be a bit of a nightmare, wouldn't it? If they'd forgotten to send the parts, that was just a merch box. Got some valves.
Yeah, so they exhaust valves and inlet valves. The exhaust Inconel and the inlet's a black nitride.
Nice.
So these should be able to take loads of anti-lag and flames.
All the flames, mate.
All the flames. Yeah.
The whole project's only built around making flames, to be honest.
And then springs. Stop your valves bouncing.
Are they double springs?
Twin springs, yeah, dual springs. What else we got, Austin? Let's have a look.
We got this lovely billet crank. This ain't so light as the pistons.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Pretty cool bit of kit that is. Yeah, it's a really nice finish on it. It's got the angled oil ways.
Just got to chuck it all in there now. Can you just throw it at it?
Yeah, yeah, it's just like that. Yeah.
I'm sure it won't take you too long.
But before Paul can take the engine away, Ian needs to extract it from the Navara-R in what seems like the most energetic way possible.
I know I need to lose weight, but that's taking a piss. Oh, Mike Wharton's a wanker, isn't he? How the fuck does that hold on there? What has he put? What is that? What is this? What is that? Is that just pushed in? Is that like a little thing? Oh, it's like a little thing. It's one of them little things under there, Sam. At least it's going to be easier to work on than that. Oh, fucking than that actual GT-R.
Than a GT-R, yeah.
Got a lot more room around everything.
Taking a prop out is a lot of doddle.
You should have weighed it before and after. I bet it's going to be fucking heavier, isn't it?
It's going to be heavier.
Heavier than factory, yeah, that's crazy. Fucking hell, it's so close, it's like fucking millimetres. Where's that pry bar, Jack? Snappering off, keep going. Sorted. Fuck's sake, not a very good start. What are you trying to tell me? Oh, I can't do hi guys, I can't do it.
Hi guys!
I can't do it.
Hi everybody!
What other introductions can I do?
Hello!
What's up guys?
Got Baggs's VR38 to strip down, inspect and then build up with the forged components. Steve's after 1,000 horsepower, which is easy for one of these. Really efficient engine at making lots of power. So let's strip it down and we'll show you what's inside and what we're upgrading. Pulls out nice and easy. It's quite clean to be fair. If you look at that, see how many teeth are showing on that tensioner? So when they're new, it's obviously it's further back, so it's come out quite a bit. Pulls that as well, yeah, it's really clean in here, up top end. Right, I need to go for a pee. This is the point where I hope Baggsy and that lot have drained all the fluids out of it, otherwise it's going to make a mess. And there we go. First thing you do is have a good look in here. Because that'll be a telltale sign of any metallic or greyness, and it's mint. The only thing which shows really on the age is how much corrosion is in these parts. Like down the side of the block, you can see that it's very low mileage just because of lack of corrosion. So that's all the covers, timing chain, sprockets and pulleys, and everything off, and all we're left with now is the cylinder heads, the block, and then obviously the internals, the business stuff. He completely stripped it back to a bare block, upgraded everything, all brand new internals, cams, valve springs, and he done an amazing job. Tell you what, while it's here, it's probably worth just checking the lobes, because they do have a tendency to wear again with the higher RPMs, low on oil, but no, they're good, really good condition. Not even the slightest mark on them. Crank and pistons out. Take the pistons and rods out first, and then take the girdle off, but stripping it down, I just prefer to do it this way, you get a bit more room. People, when doing head strip like this, they do the head standing up, but again I just prefer the head stand because I do a lot of head porting as well, and it's much easier to port a head once it's up higher. So that's it, engine stripped down.
We didn't find any damage or anything to be worried about, so it's a good base. You can tell it's low mileage, which hasn't been stressed too much. So next we're going to dry assemble it. We'll clean the block, get it dry assembled, and then we're off to dynamic balancing before another strip down and then full build.
Okay, Paul, so what we've got here is your Nissan V6 engine, and it's set up on this, what we call a dynamic table balancing machine rig, for a couple of reasons. This balancing machine links the two pedestals, and it allows us to put assemblies on here and rotate them and release that motion, which shows us how the thing is balanced.
So how do you actually rotate it at the given RPM?
Right, we've got a belt drive on this machine, and I can just put the belt around the flywheel. Let's just put the lock on for a second. I'll just turn it on now and you'll see it's set for 300 RPM. So she brings it up to 300 RPM. I can release, right now it's locked. It doesn't move around. I can release the locks, and now it is free to float.
Yeah. So if there was any unbalance there, the table would be wobbling around.
Absolutely. And it's appeared on the screen, and then I can calibrate and work out how many grams of unbalance that is. These things on the back, these transducers that measure the vibration, they're capable of measuring 1,000th of a micron. And we have typically balanced this to a couple of microns each end. That's total distance travelled, which is nothing in reality. On this particular engine, they've given us a pre-balanced crankshaft. So they've asked for your rod weight and piston weight. They've calculated the weight transfer. They've put clamps on the crankshaft and they've pre-balanced it. So when it came in, it had fairly large drillings on the two end counterweights. Most crankshaft manufacturers will make the last two crank counterweights overly heavy.
Okay.
So that the unbalance is always in those last two. So there's the deep drilling from the crank manufacturer. And in fact, it was very close, but we've
fine-tuned
taken some more out to trim it down.
Reliability was key for us. Making good horsepower was key. And yeah, Paul Cheshire and the guys down there and the engine balance have done an absolutely fantastic job.
Subsequently, since having the engine back, after Paul's built it, we know how much quality and time that's gone into that build. So super excited to get that, to get the engine started and hear it and obviously drive it.
It's a work of art. I'm really excited to hear it run and see it go for the first time.
Yeah, it'll be good once it's finished and see how it actually looks. Because obviously we have no idea how the car currently looks because we've never had it on the ground with the wheels on and the kit on.
I'm almost more nervous to start it up and something's wrong.
I'm really excited to see what it sounds like, to see what it looks like finished, because not only will we be firing it up for the first time, which is going to be quite momentous for everyone,
and see how it functions as well. That'll be more interesting of whether or not it reaches our expectations of what the vehicle should be able to do and accomplish.
Look, what the guys designed us body kit wise was breathtaking. I think it really done justice to the lines that Nissan created when they built the Navara in the first place. Those small additions have just turned it up to 11. It looks so cool. Cut.
Can you specify who those people are?
Sorry mate, snitches get stitches.
I said, could you maybe take Rosie and go round there?
Why, is she being a nuisance?
No, she was fine when it was when you weren't in here.
Oh mate, look at that balance. I've got that absolutely perfect, look. No way. slow down a little bit. Otherwise we'll be fucking done next week.